My name is Alok Kumar Singh. I have done my internship from Emertxe. In this internship, I have learned to make the IoT based home automation solution. So, in this project, we have learned how to link our home appliances with our mobile phone. So, for that, we are using the Arduino Uno. We will connect our home appliances to the Arduino Uno. As Arduino Uno is not IP capable, so we are using the Ethernet shield. And in Blynk mobile app, we are going to create the virtual buttons, which is linked to the Blynk cloud, and which is again linked to the Arduino Uno or Ethernet shield. So through this, we are going to operate our home appliances. The main advantage of the Blynk mobile app is that we can operate it from anywhere in the world. We only need the internet connection to use it. Now we are going to see what I have learned during our internship. So first of all, I am going to tell you about the C programming. So C programming is the programming language which was invented or developed in 1972 by Emertxe. Basically, it is developed at the AT&T lab, Bell Lab. The major portion of the operating system such as Windows, Linux, and some part of the iOS operating system are also written in C programming language, and the main advantage is that its execution speed is very high, and in embedded system it is used very highly. So the main features of the C programming language, that is simple, portable, syntax based, case sensitive, it is powerful, it supports the concept of modular programming, it is compiler based, it supports the concept of pointer, it is a middle level language. Keywords. So keyword is nothing but the reserved word that have the fixed and or predefined meaning. In C there are total 32 keywords, and these are char, inflow, double, etc. The basic structure of the C programming language is something like that. At the starting we have a comment or which we can also say the documentation. This is not really the part of the program. This is only for the user. It increase the user understanding. So at the starting we have a header file, then we have a main function. After that we have a curly braces which shows the starting of the program. Then we are going to declare and initialize the variable. Then we will perform the operation, and after operation we are going to simply display our output through the printf function. So as we human understand the decimal number, but the CPU or the computer understand binary and hexadecimal number. So it is very important to learn how this conversion take place. So basically this chart explains how the conversion takes place. I am going to explain the few of them. Like if we want to convert any decimal number to a binary, we will simply divide it by 2 till we get the result 0, question 0, and we will write all the reminders and in a reverse order. Then we get our answer in a binary form. Similarly, if we want to convert any decimal to octal, then we will, in the similar way, we will divide it with 8 and write all the reminders in a reverse order, that is bottom to top. For hexadecimal, the similar process we are going to follow. We will divide it by 16. If we are going to convert any octal number to a binary, we will make the group of 3. Now, data type. There are 3 types of data type in the C language, that is primary, derived, and user defined. Primary data type are integer, character, float, double float, and byte. Derived we have a function, array, pointer, and reference. In user defined we have a class, structure, union, element, type def. Then we have a decision making statements. In it we have a if else statement. It is a two-way decision making statement. if some condition is going to true, then if its statement is execute, and if the condition is going to false, then else is going to execute. The statements inside the else is going to execute. In this we have 4 types: if else, if, and nested if. Then we have a switch. So we are going to use switch for comparison purpose. The expression is going to evaluate, and then it is going to compare it with the case values, and if it is true, the match found, then that case will execute, and we have a break statement which bring our control outside of that loop. If no case is found to be matched, then we have a default statement which will run. Then we have a loop. There are 2 types of loop basically. One is entry controlled and another is exit control. In entry control, the checkpoint is at the entry gate, something like that. When we are about to enter the loop, there is a condition which we need to fulfill. If that condition is fulfilled, only that we get the entry inside that loop. And in exit control, the loop is executed once, and after that, when we are about to exit, at that time we have a condition. If that condition satisfied, then loop will execute again. In case of a for loop, we have a initialization, condition, and updation. In initialization, we are going to initialize a variable. Then we have a condition. If this condition is fulfilled, it is true, then we will go inside the loop and a statement will execute. And once it is about to finish, then we will again come to the updation section. Then the value will be updated, and then the condition is again checked. And if this condition is true, then we will go inside the loop again. Operator. These are very important concepts. It tells what types of operation we can perform using the language. First of all, we have a unary operator, then binary, ternary. Unary operators are those operators which can be performed using a single operator, like increment operator and decrement operator. For binary operator, we at least require 2 operators, like plus, minus, multiply, divide, and relation operator, logic operator, bitwise, and assignment operator. For addition, we at least need a 2 number. So it is binary operator. For ternary operator, we need a 3 number. In that case, if the condition is going to evaluate, if it is true, then the second part is execute. If it is false, then third part is going to execute. Now array. An array is a data structure containing a number of the data value which is all of the same type. It doesn't allow the data of the different type. In array A, we can see it is all of integer type. In array B, it is all of character type. But in C, which is wrong, it contains the integer, float, and character. It is not the right way. Then it is the syntax for the declaration of array. First, we have to write the data type, then the name of the array, then the size, how many variable we are want to declare. Basically, the use of array is that if we have the 1000 of student, then there is no need to declare the 1000 variable one by one. We can simply use the concepts of array to declare the 1000 variable, and at the same time we can initialize it using the concepts of loop. Initializing an array, there are various methods to initialize the value. Like in first method, we have an array name array and its size is 5, and we are simply initializing it by writing the value in a curly braces, like 1, 2, 5, 67, 32. In the second method, if we don't know the size, what are the actual size, then we simply write it in a curly braces, and what are the number of the values, it will simply understand that it is the size of the array. In third method, we are going to initialize it one by one, like array 0 is 1, so at 0th position 1 will be stored, at first position 2 will be stored. The fourth method is most efficient. We will initialize the array using the for loop. The loop will run and the value is initialized to the array. Now pointer. pointer is nothing but is a special variable which is going to store the address of the sum variable, and also it point at the same memory location. So whatever changes we are going to make using the pointer, it will simply reflect into that variable, that memory location. The general syntax of declaring a pointer is data type, asterisk, and name of the pointer. Here there is an example: int asterisk pointer ptr is equal to reference operator then x. So it will simply put the address of x into the variable ptr. In this array name as a pointer, so we will learn how we are using the array in pointers. So int mean, then we are going inside the function, then we are declaring an array of size 5, and then we are using the pointer, and we are going to place the value 10. So it will place the 10 at the very beginning of the array. So if we are going to print the output at A0, so we will simply get the answer as 10. So if we will write asterisk A plus 1, so it will point to the first memory location, not 0, not second, at the first memory location. So when we are going to print this value A1, then we will get the answer as 20, and similarly in third case we will get the answer as 30. Functions are the group of the code which are used to perform some specific task. So function is basically the set of statement that takes input, perform some computation, and then provide output. So yes, its syntax is return type, function name, and set of inputs. So why functions are so important? So one reason is that we can write it one and use it again and again. And second is abstraction. If we have simply created the function, then we did not take much care about how it is working. We can simply enjoy using it. Like we have used hundreds of times the scanf function, but at all the time we are not going to focus on the logic how it is working. It is the main function. It is the simple example of the function. First, at the starting we have a header file, then we have a main function. We are declaring the two variable num1 and num2, and initialize with value 10 and 20. Then we have another variable sum, it is initialized with 0. Then we have sum is equal to add number, and the two actual arguments are passed in it, that is num and num2. Now when this function add num come, the function call, so we will leave the main function and our control come inside the add function. Here the actual argument copies into the formal argument, and then we have int sum 0, and when we are going to perform the operation of sum equal to num1 plus num2, then the 10 and 20 will be added and the value will be stored into the variable sum, and then we have returned that value. Then our control always come outside the add function, add number, and then our control again come at the same line. Then the sum is stored into the sum of the two number, that is num1 and num2 is stored into the sum, and we are simply going to print it. So we will get our answer as 30. Now class of value and call by value and call by reference. So in call by value, what changes we are going to make into the formal parameter is actually not reflected into the actual parameter. They both are pointing at the different memory locations. If like here is I have taken the example of a program to swap the number, but we can see at the end of the program the value are swapped into the formal parameter, but in actual parameter it is not get swapped. So we have a call by reference. In call by reference, both the actual parameter and the formal parameter are pointing to the same memory location. So whatever changes we are going to make inside the formal parameter is directly reflected into the actual parameter. A string variable is a one-dimension array of character that is capable of holding a string at a time. We have declared an string like that is char 6 s6. It make the array one character longer than the string, one character longer, because we have also to terminate it by using the null character. We can simply see it here. We have used the extra block to put the null character to terminate this. Now, storage class. What is the storage class? Storage class are used to describe the features of a variable or a function. These features are basically include scope, visibility, lifetime, and memory allocation. So we have some storage class here, that is auto. Its scope is within the block or function. Its lifetime is till end of the block or function, and it will get memory inside the stack, not in heap, not in data segment. Then we have a register. Its scope is also inside the block or function. The lifetime is also till the end of the function or block. It will get the memory inside the register. Then we have a static local. Its scope is within the function or block. Its lifetime is till end of the program. Then we have a static global. Its scope is inside the file, and the lifetime is till the end of the program, and the memory, it will get memory inside the data segment. Then we have extern. Its scope is within the program and lifetime till the end of the program, and it will get the memory inside the data segment. Now, preprocessors are the program that process our source code before compilation. Preprocessor program provide processor directives that tells the compiler to preprocess the source code before compiling. So this is something that happens before compilation. All the preprocessor directives begin with a hash symbol. We have many times used it, like hashtag include, stereo.h, conio.h, map.h. It is all of that. We have also used the macros. Macros is used to define the constant value or string value. It can be of any data type. Then we have a header file inclusion. It includes the file, which file name we have used, that is studio.h or conio.h or mat.h or something else. It will include that into the current program. In the similar way, we have a conditional, compilation, and other directives. Now we are going to learn something about C++. So first of all, we are going to see why we need C++ if we already have a C programming language. So C++ is mainly object-oriented programming language, while C is a procedural programming language. C++ is basically the advanced version of the C language. So we can say that C is a subset of C++. As I have already mentioned that C support only the procedural programming language, while C support both procedural and object-oriented. Due to this feature, many times it is also known as a hybrid language. In C, data are free and anyone can manipulate it from outside, while in C++, data are totally hidden and only the functions are outside for public use. So in C++ we have a concepts of abstraction and encapsulation, through which we are going to hide our data. C does not allow function to be defined inside the structure. In C++, functions can be used inside the structure. C does not have namespace feature, while C++ have. In C language, we are using printf and scanf for input and output, while in C++ we have a cin and cout for input and output. C does not support a reference variable, while C++ support reference variable. C provides malloc and calloc function for dynamic memory allocation and free for the memory deallocation. The C++ provide new operator for memory allocation and delete for memory reallocation. And So these are basically the main difference about the C and C++. So what is object oriented programming? So first of all we have to see what is procedural. Only then we can understand what is object oriented programming. So procedural programming is all about writing procedures or functions that perform operation on the data, while object oriented programming is all about creating objects that contain both data and function. The main aim of object oriented programming is to bind the data and function together that operate on them, so that no other part of the code can access this. So these are the main difference between object oriented programming and procedural programming. So class and object, these are two main items of C++. Everything in C++ is associated with class and object along with its attributes and methods. For example, in real life, a car is an object. The car has attributes such as weight, color, and method. A class is merely a blueprint of data. An object is a data structure that is an instance of a class. So we can see that class is a definition, something very closer to definition, and object is all about the example of that definition. Like if we have a fruit, then we have many type of fruit, that is apple, banana, mango, guava, grapes, etc. In the same way, if we have a class car, then we have a create a object, like many types of cars are there, like Volvo, Audi, Toyota, Hyundai, Suzuki, etc. Main pillars of object oriented programming. There are four main pillars of object oriented programming. First, we have a inheritance, the process of creating new class from existing class. It is all about the learning from the parents and inbuilding those characteristics to the child. Then we have an abstraction, refers to the providing only essential information and hiding the background details from the end user. So only functions are available to the end user. Encapsulation, this binding together of the data and function that manipulate that data and keep both safe from outside interference and misuse. So we are going to hide the data and only functions are available to the user. So there is less chances that anyone can misuse it. Then we have a polymorphism, referred to one interface and many forms. Then we have a constructor. A constructor in C++ is a special method that is automatically called when an object of a class is created. So it is automatically called to initialize some values, default values. It is of three types: parameterized, non-parameterized, and a copy constructor. Then we have a template. Template are the powerful features of the C++ which allow you to write the generic programs. We are going to learn about the IoT devices, embedded system, picsimlab, and Arduino IDE. And then after that, I am going to simulate my project. So this is our main agenda, to design the home automation system which will be simulated on the picsimlab simulator using the Blynk mobile application in order to control the devices. Using this interface, we will control the garden lights and then the temperature of the home and then water tank, in which we are going to control the inflow and outflow of the water. And if the water level is below a specific level, then the inflow will be automatically turned on, and once our tank will be full, then it will automatically off. Same with the temperature. If the temperature is above the 35 degree, then a heater will automatically turned off. And for garden light, if there is no sunlight, then the garden light will automatically turned on. We are using the LDR sensor for it. Now, what is Internet of Things? The network of physical objects that contain embedded technology to communicate and interact with their internal state or the external environment. So nowadays we are using in IoT almost every space, in defense, communication, automobile, etc. Why it is so important? There are almost 13.8 billion IoT devices in the world, which is almost twice the population of the world. And the current market of all the IoT devices is 21.3 billion US dollar in 2022, which is 17.5 billion dollar in 2021. So it means it is increased by almost 22% within a year. As I have already told, it is used in almost every space, in agriculture, automobile, transportation, consumer, defense. Now, this is basic structure of IoT. First of all, we have a device connectivity part, then data processing and analytics, and then we will present it on some mobile application, on some computer, etc. So if the device is IP capable, then it will directly connected to the cloud gateway. If it is not IP capable, then we will first make it IP capable through the gateway, and then we will connect it through the cloud gateway. Then the cloud gateway is itself connected to the data processing and analytics part, where all the computation work will be takes place. Here the comparison, etc. takes place, and then we will simply present it on our mobile application or anywhere else. So this is the very basic structure of IoT. Now, what is embedded system? So any combination of hardware and software, remember both are very compulsory, that hardware and software in it, which is intended to do some specific task. It is, we can say it at embedded system. So a specific task and hardware and software part, these three are the main parts of the embedded system. Now in this project, what are the functional requirements? So for golden light control, we are using LDR and LED. For temperature system control, we are using a temperature system, that is LM35, then heater to increase the temperature, and then the cooler to cool down the temperature. Water tank inlet and outlet control, we will use the serial tank, and then inlet valve control and outlet valve control. And for these controls, we need some extra applications. That for Arduino IDE, it is a development tool. We will write all our logic here. Then picsimlab, it is a simulating tool. We will connect our devices through Arduino using picsimlab. Then we have a Blynk IoT mobile application. In Blynk mobile application, we will create a virtual buttons on it, and we will control it. Then Ethernet seal to make the Arduino IP capable, and then CLCD to display our outputs. So for golden light control, as I have already said, we are using the LDR. LDR is basically the light dependent resistor. It is a component that has a variable resistor. So when the intensity of light is more, then resistance is very less, and accordingly the voltage which we get from it, if the resistance is very low, then the voltage V out is high, and light is directly proportional to voltage, so we will control it in that way. LDR sensor is always give the analog value. So in order to read this value, we will using a function, which is an inbuilt function, that is analog read with pin number, at which pin we are going to connect our LDR. Now LED, we all know LED is a light emitting diode. It is a simple device we mostly use in embedded system as to see the output, or to see that some function is working or not. So as LED is output device, so we need to configure GPIO pin as output. So we will configure our GPIO pins, that is general purpose input output pins, as output pin. In order to configure it, we will use a function, that is pin mode, pin and comma mode. It is the syntax. Now this is the interface LED. So LDR sensor basically sends the light that is sunlight, then it give its output, its information to the Arduino will evaluate it, and lights will on and off automatically. These are the GPIO pins, that 1, 2, 3, 4 to 13s, and these are the analog pins from A0 to A5. So these all are digital pins, and these are analog pin. Analog pin can also be treated as a digital pin. Now these are the function I have already told. We are going to use to toggle LED, that is pin mode, configure the specific pin to behave either as an input and output. This is the general syntax. And digital write function, to write high or low. This is the general syntax. Digital pin, bracket pin, comma value. And then we are using the delay function to make a certain delay. We will always write the value in milliseconds. Now for temperature sensor, as I have already told, we are using the LM35 sensor to sense the real-time temperature. It will sense and give the output value to the Arduino. The output is analog, so for receiving this analog value, we have to make the GPIO as an input. So A0 to A5 pins we are going to use through analog read function. Arduino has a built-in 10-bit ADC. As we know that LM35 gives the analog value, so we have to convert this first to digital value. So there is a 10-bit inbuilt ADC which convert our analog value from 0 to 255 to digital value, that is 0 to 1023. And it will also get a reverse, that for 0 in analog 1023 is selected. We are using that logic. So when analog is 0, the light is on. Then we have a heater. We will use the heater when we want to increase the temperature of the room, and if we want to decrease the temperature, then maybe use the cooler. This is the block diagram. So this is our room, this is temperature system. Temperature will be sensed, and the output will be displayed on the LCD. And if through the Blynk mobile application the temperature is also displayed, and if we want to increase the temperature, we will give the command through the mobile application, and which comes to the Arduino, and then Arduino will assist the temperature sensor to on the heater. Similarly, same thing will happen if we want to use the cooler. And there is a notification if the temperature is above certain value, then the notification that the temperature is above this value, that 35 degree or 40 degree, will be displayed on the Blynk app. These are the functions which we are using for CLCD. Now first of all, we are using the liquid crystal I2C, that is followed by address, column and rows to set the LCD address and number of display line and character lines. Secondly, we will set the cursor, the position of the cursor where we want to display our outputs. Then for printing in a string, we are using print string, and there are some other functions, that is LCD backlight to turn on the backlight, LCD initialize the LED to clear, we are using the LCD.clear, and to set the cursor at the home position, that is first position, we are using LCD.home. Now we are using the analog read and write function to convert the values. So the analog read the value from the specific analog plane. The number of channel depend on the board set, assuming 10-bit analog to digital converter, mapping voltage between 0 and 5 volt, and it will give the integer value respective to that from 0 to 1023. And it will also define per unit. So 5 volts, so we will divide it by 1023. So we will get the increment for every single unit. Now analog write, in the similar way we have also the syntax for analog write followed by pin and values. Now water tank. We will read the volume of the water in the tank through the serial communication and display it on the CLCD. Control the volume of the water in the tank by controlling the inlet and the outlet valve. By sending the command through the serial communication, display the volume of the water in the tank on the CLCD. So we are for this we are using the serial remote tank. Serial remote tank is a tank simulator controlled by the serial communication protocol. This tank has a several sensor and actuator that can read and controlled using the communication protocols. And remember, the address should always be 19,200. It is mentioned in our document. So the actuators, there are many actuators, but we are going to use only inlet valve and outlet valve, and sensor is the value. We can control this by reading and writing the actuator and sensor. For this we are using the built-in functions belong to the serial class. So to connect the serial tank to the Arduino, we are using the virtual serial ports, and we will select Arduino as COM2 and serial 2 as COM1. These are the function for serial class. So we are using the serial begin to set the data rate in bits per second, and serial write, and then serial read. These are the block diagram. So first of all, the information that of the volume of the water is sensed by the sensor, and then it is sent to the Arduino, then it is displayed on the serial CD, and at the same time it is displayed on the Blynk IoT app. Then if the volume of the water is below the certain level, then the sensor will inform the Arduino, and through the Arduino will take the decision that it should on the inlet valve or not. If we want to operate it through the Blynk IoT mobile application, we can do it. There are the buttons for opening the inlet valve. If we will press them, then the inlet valve will be on, and if we want to close, then we can close it. And the CLCD, we can see the volume of the water. Now Blynk mobile application. So Blynk mobile application we are using to basically make the buttons, virtual buttons. With Blynk, anyone can connect their hardware to the cloud and build make buttons on it, and can operate their devices anyway from any part of the world. Only the thing is required, that is internet. This is the interface of the Blynk mobile application. As you can see that there is inlet control and outlet control, and there is a gauge to represent the volume of the water. There is a notification window where we can see the notifications time to time. Similarly, for temperature, we have a heater and a cooler and temperature gauge. Now, to use the Blynk application, these functions we are using. Now this is the Arduino interface. These pins are from 0 to 13 are known as the digital pin, and from A0 to A5 are known as analog pin. These pins will also be treated as a digital pin. These are the GPIO pin. Then we have a USB port, reset button, and a power jack. Some digital pins are multiplexed with some other pins, that PWM. These are the connections. These are basic connection which I have made. Now I will show how Arduino IDE looks like. Here I have written the codes to operate this system. This is basically the modular programming. I have kept each and everything separated, so it is easy to make the changes and things are more clear and visible. Now I will simulate it. Now I am going to simulate this. I have already made all the connections. 1 second. Let me hide this. So I have already made all the connections. No? So as you can see, this is our Arduino, and this is the spare parts. I have already made the connection. At the same time, I have shared my mobile applications of a Blynk IoT app where I have already created the virtual buttons and gaze. So this one is for what to control the water balloon. Let me make it more visible. This is used to control the water value, and this one is for temperature control. This is temperature gauge. As you can see, the temperature on both is same. That is 27.34 here. I have already uploaded the code hex file. So now I am going to operate it. One more thing, this is the serial tank. So I have connected it. So first of all, I am going to show the how LDR sensor is working. That is a garden light. So as there is no physical sensor we are using in it, so this is the gaze we are working it. So we know as a there is a light, the resistance is going to decrease, and if there is no light, then the resistance is going to increase. So basically this gauge is representing the sunlight. So if we are increasing this, then we can see the LED red color LED is blinking here. So and if there is no light, then this is blinking, and if there is light, means this is going to minimize, and this LED is will automatically turned off. So in this way we will operate our LED. If there is enough sunlight, there is no need of LED, so it will automatically turned off. And if there is no sunlight, this will automatically turned on, as you can see. Now through Blynk mobile application, now I am going to show how I am controlling the temperature of the room. So the temperature current temperature is 27.34 degrees Celsius. Suppose if I want to increase the temperature, simply I am going to on the heater. So as you can see, the temperature is going to increase. It become 33, 35, and now temperature is above. So 35 degrees, so heater will automatically turn off, and I am going to on the cooler. So as cooler is on, temperature will decrease. And when we are going to on the cooler, we can see this fan rotating. And here we can see that cooler is on our CLCD. Okay. Again, if we want to going to on the temperature, then our and here you can see I have on the temperature in my application. The temperature is going to increase. And here is a notification we will get if the temperature is above 35 degrees Celsius. And our heater will automatically turned off. And if I am on the cooler, this fan is going to start and temperature is decreasing, and we will get the message that cooler is on. This is the working of temperature sensor through the mobile application. Now I am going to operate the tank, my tank. So as you can see, the current water volume is showing in it. It is 24.2480 liters. So I am going to turn on the inlet valve. So as I have turned on the inlet valve, we can see the water filling in it, and the volume of the water is increasing in both. Here we can see. And if the tank is filled, the inlet valve is automatically turned off, and we will see the notification also. on this step, that water level is full, turning off the inlet valve. In the similar way, if I am going to turn on the outlet, then we can see the water decreasing. And when the water level is below 2000 liter, the turning on the inlet valve, we are getting the message that turning on valve is automatically on. And here you can see the inlet valve is on, and the volume of the water is maintained as inlet and outlet valve both are on at the same time. So there is no increase in the volume. If we are going to turn off our outlet, then volume will again start increasing. And here you can also see it on CLCD also, and at the same time on application, mobile application also, it is increasing. When volume is reached, water, then it will automatically turn off. Water level is full, turning off the inlet valve. We can see it. Here also we can read the message that water volume is 3000 and inlet valve is off. Now we are going to operate the temperature and cereal tank at the same time. So I am going to turn on our outlet in order to make the tank empty, and at the same time I am going to turn on our heater. So you can see both reading are changing at the same time. And here you can see the pop-up message accordingly on our mobile application. Once the volume of the water is below 2000, our inlet valve is also automatically on, and if we are off the outlet, then it is going to increase the volume of our water. Similarly, temperature is above 35 degree, so our heater is automatically turned off, and if we turn on the cooler, the temperature is going to reduce faster. So this is all about my project. Thank you.